So another little thing happened. Moving on. Last was it PKN or PKA? Yeah. So last week on the show, we discussed Woody's terrible contractor and how he faked multiple life-threatening illnesses for himself and his wife. So he just kept delaying all these projects on Woody, and it was a real hassle. And at one point, Woody was like, he even showed me pictures of his dogs to like get pity, and I was like, no way, let me see the dogs. And I legitimately just wanted to see the dogs. I thought he'd text me the dogs or something, and Woody was like, yeah, look at the dogs, and showed me text messages of the dogs, and completely accidentally he, I guess, flashed the guy's phone number because it's at the top of the thing, and we didn't realize until it was too late. Someone messaged me days and days and days later, and it was far too late by then. Well, I guess some people called him and tried to hire his services and have been giving him a hard time. So he's calling Woody, and he's like, "You've sicked these degenerates on me. This bullshit show you do. There's over 180,000 views already on it, and these people are calling me, and they're doing this and that."
What are your response when he said that? There's 180,000 views on the YouTube video. I wanted your response to be like, well, actually, that doesn't account for all the other services that it's.
YouTube is but a fraction of our.
It's not, y'all. Don't get the.
Well, the audio listeners aren't calling him. I didn't say it.
Not yet. Not yet. They aren't. The things you miss out on when you never watch the video.
Yeah, you can't get.
I didn't mean to leak his number. It sucks. But he did act like it was yet another one of the worst things that ever happened to him. It just there. So he took about 5 months to do maybe 10 days worth of work. And when he did work, I swear this guy works from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
I hate this guy so much.
How is this even worth your commute? But he would routinely work 10 to 2. And that's part of why it takes so long.
He even said, he was like, how would you like it if I started a podcast and I showed your number on there? And it's turns out he's starting a podcast. It was gonna start this week, but he has AIDS, so it's been delayed. It's been delayed 2 to 3 weeks before he begins his podcast.
What if he starts a podcast? He's
TBD.
a fucking natural, explodes past us, and then damn it, we're getting blown out by the contractor weekly
Takes
talk
him
hour.
5 months to
Welcome
upload.
to the
We're
Lazy
safe.
Frank Show. I'm Lazy Frank.
I'm Lazy Frank. Welcome to the 1 Minute Podcast.
Here's my
Good
wife,
work.
Terry Shivo. Beep, beep, beep. She's on the monitors.
We're pretty happy with the work he did. It just, instead of 10 days, it took 5 months to do it. And
So if somebody needs some work done,
in 2022.
If somebody needs some work done, this will be done by the middle of this decade.
I didn't like that he stored his trailer in our driveway for 5 months.
You shouldn't. Just because you have 2 driveways doesn't mean you don't deserve to use both of them.
do you have a
Free
wobbly toilet that you need fixed in 3 to 6 months? Do you have a little extra room in your front yard for a large trailer? Well, there's only one man to call for the job.
A lot of people thought that maybe he was working on someone else's project, but I had all his tools in my front yard the whole winter. He wasn't working anywhere else.
Those tools are broken.
Doing.
I mean, you think he's laundering money in some other way? You think he's a criminal, but this is his moonlighting gig?
I don't want to accuse him of any crimes.
He kept asking me for more money, so no, I don't think so.
He sounds like an alcoholic.
I don't think so.
What if that? Hey, we got an expert.
And we do have a subject matter expert here. Not
He's
that I
often
know.
late.
Often late.
Often late.
He makes promises that he never fulfills.
Right.
He likes to use his nail gun drunk. Look how far it could go.
I looked in his trailer, there's nothing in there but 3 kegs of beer and a vomit stinking mattress.
All his tools were really nice. He had everything's matching DeWalt. He's a DeWalt guy, and all of his tools matched. It was all high end stuff. He made an outstanding first impression.
Yeah,
it wasn't
I like DeWalt
until
as well.
he missed this. At first it'd be hey bro, when should I expect you? That was the phrasing I always used. When should I expect you? It's a nice way of saying you coming to work today, dude. Yeah. And there'd be some excuse. It got to be I just didn't expect him anymore. Of course he's not coming to work. Why would he? And he got demo done immediately. You know what else I hated? Just remembering this, and it made me so mad. We hired him for like a smaller project, right? Like just the toilet and coffee maker or whatever it was. And he's like, actually, I'm a really good carpenter, and like, check out how loose this is. And there's a wobbly hand railing. It goes like, it's a front porch. It has maybe 4 steps. And the railing is wobbly. And he rips it down and says, look how weak that was. And I'm like, well...
Look how easy this hammer dents your car.
Yeah.
You need protection.
Now I have to face
It's like one of those guys that comes in your house to sell you like a steam cleaner and pours like crude oil on your white carpets first.
Now you want to believe.
No, he literally did that. He ripped down the railing, and then there was like a globe. Picture like a 1 foot diameter sort of decorative wooden ball at the top of a newel post. And he ripped that off too. And he's like, look, this comes right off. And it's like, you're doing demo, like pre-estimate. I don't have a quote to fix this yet.
I would literally call the police.
Like... It's the shadiest fucking tactic ever. I
would literally call the police. You just tell them the truth. I called this man and asked him to fix my toilet and my coffee maker. He walked outside and started tearing my porch apart and pointed out how weak it was. I want to file charges for destruction of property. And then he'd be like, yeah, that's exactly what happened, but I thought he'd hire me. Fraud as well, it seems, sir. Yes. Let's get that right down.
You know what you need to do, Woody? You need to go to his house and test, like, how... Can you hang on his kitchen cabinets? I don't know. Maybe you need to test it. Look at this. I can just tear your whole kitchen apart without... look at this. This coffee maker goes right into your TV.
Yeah.
You didn't consider any of this. Wow, everything just lights on fire. Look, just tossing a match. Look at how flammable your throw pillows are.
We have a big house.
I'm showing you all the fucking danger.
There are so many things that like need to be done. Like you close a door and you can like see like a little bits of light, on the other, like, oh, the weather sealing's not quite right. And we just got like a zillion of those. Our gutters are like, there's an area in the front where the gutter doesn't point down, so it kind of drips over the side, and that causes further. Anyway, it's like we got a million little things. That was his audition to be like my fucking next dependent. I'm gonna have another guy just around here sucking money out of me all the time. I was gonna add one to the list, and he missed his chance. We got to find someone else.
Piece of shit, this guy.
Literally
jerk.
It's like calling the fucking fire department because your house is on fire, and they just like show up with a flamethrower. And you're like,
yeah. They're like, look, all this shit catches on fire.
Our fire's even hotter. We're going to intimidate the other fire into retreat.
That is the shadiest. I hired a paint. Well, I didn't actually hire him, but I hired a painter to give me a quote. I guess I had a painter. And this is the Apex house. On the siding, it kind of bubbled under the paint a little bit. Like water got behind it and it bubbled a bit. So he took a screwdriver and pried it off to show me that it was weak. And it's like, well, fuck. We went from like bubbling under the paint to like exposed raw unpainted siding. Yeah. Like, is this part of your sales technique? Where you take my 4 out of 10 problems and make them 9 out of 10 problems, and now like it's an emergency?
You call the police. I swear to God, you call the police.